Hi everyone, my name is Emma, and today I will be talking about something every college student can relate to, which is sleep, or rather the lack of it. We've all had those nights where we stay up late studying, finishing an essay, or just scrolling, thinking we'll catch up on the sleep later. But what if those sleepless nights are costing us more than we realize? Today I'll be explaining how sleep deprivation affects college students, academically, mentally, and physically, and why sleep is one of the most important investments we can make for success. Why this matters. Research shows that 70% of college students get less than 8 hours of sleep, according to the data shared by the University of South Florida admissions blog in 2024. With packed schedules, jobs, and classes, it's easy to think sleep is optional, but it's not. My thesis states sleep deprivation significantly impairs college students' academic performance, mental health, and physical health. I'll first talk about how sleep impacts learning and grades, then how it affects mental and emotional well-being, and finally, what it does to our physical health and how we can fix it. This topic matters because sleep influences almost everything we do. It affects how we learn, remember information, solve problems, and even how we interact with others. When we don't get enough sleep, we're mentally exhausted, emotionally unstable, and physically weaker. Many college students believe staying up late is the price of doing well, but research shows that the opposite is actually true. Sacrificing sleep doesn't improve grades, it actually hurts them. Let's start with academics. Sleep is one of the most powerful learning tools that we have because it's when the brain organizes and stores memories, a process called memory consolidation. According to a study by Gilbert and Weaver published in the College Student Journal in 2022, students who slept fewer than 6 hours per night had significantly lower GPAs than students that slept 1 hour more, so getting 7 hours total of sleep. The National Sleep Foundation also reports that even a single night of short sleep can reduce attention span, focus, and reaction time. So if you've stayed up all night before a test only to forget what you've studied, that's your body's way of struggling to process information without rest. So while staying up all night feels productive, it's actually hurting your academic performance. But the effects of poor sleep go beyond just grades. Sleep deprivation takes a major toll on mental health. According to Harvard Medical School, chronic sleep loss can cause emotional instability, irritability, and higher stress levels. When you're sleep deprived, your brain's emotional center, the amygdala, becomes overactive, meaning you feel stress and frustration more intensely. Neuroscientist Matthew Walker, in his book Why We Sleep, found that just 1 week of restricted sleep can cause emotional changes similar to mild depression. This in turn causes a dangerous cycle as stress leads to less sleep and less sleep leads to more stress. For college students who are constantly under pressure, that can be mentally draining and emotionally exhausting. And it's not just our minds that struggle with lack of sleep, our bodies do as well. Chronic sleep deprivation doesn't just make you tired, it physically wears your body down. The Center of Disease Control and Prevention, or for short CDC, reports that poor sleep weakens the immune system and increases risk for long-term conditions like heart disease, obesity, and even diabetes. In the short term, it leads to fatigue-related accidents and a higher reliance on caffeine just to merely function in daily life. But saying all this, small changes such as maintaining a consistent sleep schedule, reducing caffeine consumption, and putting your phone away 30 minutes before bed can make a big difference. So let's look at some simple ways to actually improve sleep habits and regain energy. Strategies for better sleep. Improving sleep doesn't mean changing your entire lifestyle. It's about consistency and small habits. First, try creating a nighttime routine that helps you relax and wind down after a long day, like reading, meditating, or listening to calming music. 2, avoid screens before bed. The blue light from our phones and laptops trick our brains into thinking it is daytime, not allowing our brain to properly rest. And 3, limit caffeine and naps during the day and keep your room cool, dark, and quiet. Even small improvements like this, like sleeping at the same time each night, can increase your energy and focus the next day. We've seen that sleep deprivation affects 3 major areas: academic performance, mental health, and physical health. When we lose sleep, we don't just feel tired, we perform worse, feel worse, and even risk our long-term well-being. To restate my thesis in a short way, sleep is not a luxury, it's a necessity for success and health. So next time you think about pulling an all-nighter, remember that every hour of sleep is helping your brain, your mood, and your body work better. As you can see from my quote, think of sleep as an investment of your time. Before I end, I want to recognize a few of the main sources that I mentioned. First, a study from the student journal Gilbert and Weaver. Second, the research from Harvard Medical School in 2023 on sleep and mental health, and findings from the CDC or Centers of Disease Control and Prevention in 2024 on the physical risks of sleep deprivation. Together, they show that sleep is one of the most important and most ignored factors in a student's success. I also have referenced other sources that I've used in my bibliography. Thank you so much for listening.